The weight of waiting. The harmattan wind carried dust across the motor park the morning Kunle left. Funmi didn't cry. Not yet. She stood straight, their daughter Temi pressed against her side, baby Dio strapped to her back. His small fingers curled into the fabric of her blouse, as though he already understood something was being taken from them. Kunle cupped her face in both hands. His palms were warm. She memorized that warmth. "This is not goodbye," he whispered. "This is just before." She nodded, because she believed him, because in 15 years of knowing Kunle, he had never once given her a reason not to. The bus swallowed him whole. She watched until it disappeared into the shimmer of the road, until there was nothing left but heat and dust and the sound of Dio beginning to stir. She turned and walked home. And she waited. The first year was bearable. His calls came every Sunday, his voice slightly distorted by distance but still his, still full of laughter, still asking whether Temi had eaten her vegetables, still telling Funmi she was the most stubborn, beautiful woman God had ever made. She would sit on the edge of the bed after hanging up, holding the phone to her chest like a second heartbeat. The second year, the calls thinned. He said it was work. New country, new schedule. Different time zones. She understood. She told her children, "Your father is busy building something for us." She told the neighbors who whispered, "My husband is a man of his word." She told herself, at 2 a.m. when the bed felt too wide, he is coming. By the third year, she had stopped counting the days, not because she had given up, but because hope had quietly shifted, from counting down to simply holding on. What Funmi didn't know was what the silence had been hiding. Kunle had been lonely in ways he didn't have words for. The cold of that foreign city had seeped into him slowly, like water finding cracks in stone. He had worked double shifts, eaten alone, called home less and less because hearing their voices made the distance feel violent. And then there was Lydia. She appeared softly, a colleague, then a friend, then somehow the only person who could make him laugh in that gray, relentless city. He told himself it was nothing, then he told himself it was harmless. Then one evening, over cheap wine and the kind of tiredness that strips a man down to his worst choices, he stopped telling himself anything at all. The wedding was small, quiet. He did not allow himself to think of Funmi on that day. He became very good at not thinking of Funmi. He had 2 children with Lydia. He coached their football matches on Saturday mornings. He learned to cook pasta. He built a life that felt almost real, the way a scar eventually feels almost like skin. He buried his promise the way men bury things they cannot face, deeply, quietly, and without ceremony. He came back to Lagos for a contract deal, 3 days, maybe 4. He told himself he would handle it. See the children, give Funmi some money, keep things calm. He had rehearsed it in his head on the flight, the way you rehearse a difficult conversation you have been avoiding for years. What he had not rehearsed was the way she ran to him. She crossed the compound with her whole body, arms open, face broken open with joy, and when she collided with him, she held on so tightly that something inside his chest cracked clean through. "My husband," she said into his neck. "You came," as if she had never doubted it, as if 7 years of silence had simply been a long pause between sentences. He held her. He told himself he would explain everything. Tomorrow. He would explain it all tomorrow. Tomorrow came and went. It was an ordinary afternoon when everything ended. His phone buzzed on the kitchen table while he was in the shower. Funmi picked it up to silence it, and the screen lit up with a photo notification. Lydia had tagged him in something, a birthday photo, bright balloons, a white frosted cake, 2 small children laughing, and Kunle, her Kunle, with his arm around a woman who looked comfortable in that arm, who looked like she had always been there. Funmi set the phone down. She sat at the kitchen table for a long time. Long enough for the sun to shift, long enough for Temi to come home from school, sense something, and quietly leave the room. When Kunle emerged, fresh and unsuspecting, she was still sitting there. She didn't scream. She had always imagined she would scream. Instead, she asked very quietly, "Who is Lydia?" The silence that followed was its own kind of confession. She watched his face, watched the excuses form and dissolve, watched the man she had prayed for every single morning become, in real time, a stranger. "All these years," she said. Her voice didn't shake. That surprised her. "All these years, I told our children you were coming. I told myself you were coming." A breath. "I kept every promise I ever made to you, every single one." Kunle sank to his knees. "Fund me? I'm not angry," she said, and she meant it. The anger would come later, she would learn that. But in that moment, there was only grief. Vast and clarifying, the kind that doesn't burn but simply opens. "I'm not angry," she said again. I'm so tired of waiting for someone who already arrived somewhere else." She stood. She walked to the window. Outside, Dio was kicking a ball against the compound wall. Her son, his son, a boy who had grown up drawing pictures of a father he barely knew. "Some things," she said softly, more to herself than to him, "can't be taken back. Not with apologies, not with tears, not even with the truth." She didn't look at him when she said it. She didn't need to. A promise is not just words spoken at a roadside, it is every choice made in the years that follow. Honor the people who are waiting for you, before waiting becomes all they know how to do.
If this story touched you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more powerful and inspiring stories.